What's up, Wizards? It's Deb, SBMTG. We like it a magic. Just looking to cut a little content on a beautiful Friday evening, chilling at the house, and it looks like I finally have a chance to do something that I've been trying to do for a while now. I've been excited about cutting this video, but the bands in standard happened, had to focus on that. Lord of the Rings previews coming out, got to focus on that. But I think I finally got a free minute to do something that I think will be fun, at least for my personal enjoyment, and that is, as a standard player, looking at the best commanders, at least according to EDHRec. Looks like we're going to look at the top 12, as far as I can tell. And a lot of these I scrolled right past just to get to the top 10 or so. And I have never seen some of them. I've never read some of these, if they're from like commander sets that I didn't really look at too much. I'm not going to know them very well. So we will see what I do and don't know. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I don't want to waste too much time, especially for commander players that don't know me very well, and they just clicked on this video like, oh, what's this about? So I don't want to like waste 10 minutes just talking your ear off. Before we get to it, let's actually look at the top, I think it is 12 commanders according to EDHRec, and see what they even are. Because like I said, I'm probably not going to know a lot of these. First, I guess number 12. You guys see that okay? There's a big old ad on the page. What if I came down slightly? Yeah, that's nice. But anyway, number 12 is an impossible to pronounce card immediately. Miram? It's one of those. Miram, the Sentinel Worm. This is 6 mana. It's 3 in Teamer colors for a 6/6 legendary dragon spirit. It's got flying and ward 2. And whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, I like where this is going, create a token that's a copy of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Okay. Teamer colors, rank 12 on EDHRec, cost $1.40 on TCG Player. It's in 13,500 decks. It's kind of a lot. This is a card I've not heard of. I'm not aware of this card. And it looks awesome. It's weird that it's only Teamer colors, but I guess you have red in there, so you get to do like a lot of good stuff with like red dragons. I'm blanking on green dragons. I know we have some decent blue dragons. We have Kyrie from like Kamigawa, right? We also have Kaiga. That's a good one, right? Let's get a copy of Kaiga the Tide Star, and then when the copy dies, you get to like snatch something from the opponent's side of the table. That seems fun. But I really want this to be 5 colors, like pretty badly. I'm sure there's going to be dragons I'm not like aware of in like green. Like there's a Simic dragon that's incredible. It's just not seeing it. I could see this in the 99 of a bunch of decks. Is this the most popular dragon commander? I find that hard to believe. But let's let me know. Do you guys, any of you guys out there have decks with I'm just gonna sound like a fool when I try to pronounce it. I really think it might be Miram, but maybe it's Miram. I got nothing. Anybody got any tricks up their sleeve with this? Like what Simic dragons are you playing with this guy? I'm not sure, but honestly, $1.41, that's a great price. Really good price. And a lot of red dragons have haste too, right? So if you create token copies of them, that seems amazing. Double gold span or double storm breath. Like, okay, we're talking, but let's move on. Let's do that. To Prosper Tomebound. I actually do know what this guy does. I had him in the 99 of Judith for a while. He's 4 mana, 2, a red and a black for a 1/4 legendary tiefling warlock with death touch. He's got Mystic Arcanum. They need to name abilities again. At the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play that card. It's got Pact Boon, another named ability. Whenever you play a card from exile, create a treasure token. This card is just cool. This card is just a cool card. You don't have to have too many other things that put stuff in exile, to be honest with you. It's just Prosper's kind of good enough at it. By himself, just a dude that draws you an extra card every turn. He's hard to swing into. You get ramp off of him, fixes your mana. Just altogether a good dude. Like I had him in Judith for a while, like I said, and he doesn't even like sack to do anything cool. He doesn't care about sacking creatures or anything. He's just, I'll take some treasures. There are multiple cards in that deck that care about treasures being sacrificed. Mayhem Devil and the other 2 mana, like Rakdos Legend, I can never remember the name of, that cares about treasure being sacrificed and stuff. There's a few things that matter with Prosper, so the treasure token specifically. But altogether, it's just card advantage on a dude, and like that's fine, especially in a deck like Aristocrats. It needs a bunch of creatures, one way or the other. It's like, I could have a card draw spell, or I could have a body that draws cards. It's much better. So Prosper is just a sick card. I'm a little surprised too that this is a commander so often. But it makes sense. If you have a lot of stuff that's, Ren's Resolve, stuff like that, that basically draws cards the red way, we like to call it around here. A lot of stuff that exiles cards, you can play until the next turn or whatever. Prosper's really good, so, it makes sense he's a good commander. I'm surprised he's so expensive. He's $10 right now. He's more on TCG Player than he is on Card Kingdom. That is not too common to see that inversion in price from what I understand, but still a little surprised he's $10. He's just kind of a commander. I always forget that he's mythic too, but just kind of seems like a commander staple kind of guy, but that's probably why he's $10, but still, I have a copy of Prosper. I have a $10 bill. It's good to know. But anyway, Edgar Markov up next. Are vampires this important in Commander? Are they the number 10 most played deck in Commander? Maybe. It's 14,500 decks. It's kind of a lot. It's 6 mana. I should know what this does, but I never know. I've seen it a million times. I always forget what it does. 6 mana, 3 in Mardu colors for a 4/4 legendary vampire knight with eminence. Whenever you cast another vampire spell, if Edgar Markov is in the command zone or on the battlefield, create a 1/1 black vampire creature token. It's got first strike and haste on your 6 mana 4/4. You better have some keywords. And whenever he attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on each vampire you control. He's got haste too, so that's interesting. 6 mana is a lot, and he's in your command zone, so people won't see him coming. Guaranteed. It should be an enter the battlefield trigger, but it's an attacks trigger. It's cool that he has haste and he can do it the turn he comes out, right? But he might not get to attack at all. The vampires player across the table from me going to play their 6th land this turn. I better hold up removal for that Edgar Markov, right? So how good is it really? But I guess you don't really even care that much. I mean, you care a little bit, right, about the attacks trigger, but I guess the really cool thing about this is if he's in the command zone, you get vampires when you cast vampires. Cast vampires, get more vampires. It seems phenomenal. So, yeah, good dude. Good dude. I guess, any commander, it's like your eminence is a sweet ability, right? Because, I get value off my commander and he doesn't even have to be in play. It's disgusting. It's really, really very quite good, I would say. So, I think $70 though. Jeez Louise, man. Macaroni and cheese. That's a little bit much, Ed. Don't you think? Bring it down some, man. But oh wow, really? Next is Ishin 2 Heavens is 1. Is this really the number 9 commanders? 14,658 decks with Ishin. Wow. In case you don't know what this guy does, he's Mardu colors, red, white, black. For a 3/4 legendary human samurai, if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, the ability triggers again. So it's Panharmonicon for attacks. It's in standard right now. I wonder how many of these are going to be in standard right now. It's only 1 so far. Really? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. This is a really, really cool commander, obviously. But number 9? He's only 20 cents too, so I think he's only got the 1 printing. I guess there's 50 different versions of that 1 printing. So there's that. But I expected him to be a little more than 20 cents, especially now knowing he's the number 9 commander. This guy's the number 9 commander. I'm just going to freak out about that. That's something else. There's a lot. This commander. In standard, there's already just about enough attacks triggers to make a deck out of. So in commander, I can only imagine we have access to. It's nuts. Even in standard now. Don't we have a thing? Maybe it's commander only, actually, but the thing that, whenever it attacks, basically untap all your guys, there's another attack step. Ishin's probably really good with that, dude. So, but there's so many attacks triggers that, Ishin is probably a dope commander. He's only 3 mana, too, so probably helps a lot. I like cheap commanders. And I do, so. Neat, though. I just didn't expect the last samurai over here to be number 9. It's just as if I have a billion legendary creatures in Magic, and this is number 9, huh? Go Ishin. I like him. I like the dude. I'm just flabbergasted. Let's move on to Kenrith, the Returned King. Number 5 or number 8. Just looking at his casting cost. Kenrith is rank 8. He's in almost 15,000 decks. He's 4 and a white for a 5/5 legendary human noble from Throne of Eldraine, in case you don't know what all these abilities do. Red has all your dudes gain trample and haste till end of turn. You can pay a green and a colorless, green and whatever, to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Pay 2 and a white, target player gains 5 life. Pay 3 and a blue, target player draws a card. Pay 4 and a black, target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. So always, I kind of expected this to be here. This is like the first one that I for sure expected to be here somewhere. I even expected it to be like slightly higher. As far as 5-color commanders go, this is the best one I can think of off the top of my head. It's like Child of Alara. Does anybody even play that card? Does anybody play Child of Alara? I'm not sure. There's gonna be another 5-color commander or two, a little farther up the list, I'm sure. But like I said, this is the best one I can think of off the top of my head. I loved this card, Throne of Eldraine, man. I hated how much it enabled the Fires of Invention deck with all the Cavaliers and stuff. That was actually a slick deck. Looking back on it, I have fond memories of Fires of Invention. I don't think everybody does, but Kimrith was kind of a key piece in that deck. He fires them into play and then pay a red. And you fires like a Cavalier into play and you swing for like 10. It's disgusting. So I could see in Commander where there's some politicking here because, all of his abilities are target player. So you could probably do some really cool politicking with it. But for the most part, put counters on my guys. I'll gain 5. I'll draw a card. He is. That last ability is interesting for politics, though. Like, hey, do you want this thing back so you can block for me? Here, I guess. Don't attack me with it, you jerk. So, I can see that working, too. But altogether, I knew this guy was a popular commander. I was going to say I'm not sure I expected him to be in the top 10, but yeah, I did. And I expect him to be like closer to number 5. But Wilhelt the Rock Cleaver, I have no idea what this dude is. Up next, it's number 7. He's in 15,673 decks. He is 4 mana, 2, a blue and a black for a 3/3 legendary zombie warrior. Wow, a hill giant. A hill giant is the number 7 most popular commander. Whenever another zombie you control dies, if it didn't have Decayed, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. So, at the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice a zombie. If you do, draw a card. Oh, okay. Sucks the if it didn't have Decayed things. I really wish that it synergized with itself more. I don't think it would be that big of a deal. You only get to draw 1 extra card a turn. Huh. Is this the most popular zombie commander? Like, is this the zombie commander? I guess it is 2 colors. You don't get that with a lot of... Is that what's going on here? Is that you don't get a lot of, zombie commanders that give you a color other than just black to play with? So, like, you should play with this guy? Because... Well, that's not true either. Because, like, there's blue-black zombie legends in, like, the last 10 sets. I think they're actually in like the last 5 or 6 sets, but I know for a fact there are blue-black zombie legends in the last like 10 sets. Doesn't Gisa and Geralt? I don't know. Geralt, doesn't it? I don't know if it cares about zombies though, but there's a blue-black one. But this is slightly underwhelming. I guess what this does is it board presence and card draw. So that's good, right? Like, does something the turn it comes into play most of the time. It can actually do 2 things the turn it comes into play. I don't know. It's probably better than I think it is. Board presence and card draw is good, but like, Lord, it seems slowish a little bit. It's probably a combo, right? Where you just sacrifice a bunch of zombies and you get a bunch of zombies and you sacrifice those zombies and you kill your opponent somehow, right? There's got to be some trick, right? Combos. And, if it's just a Dimir zombie commander that creates a ton of value, that's fine. Because it does. It obviously creates a buttload of value. And then also you just sacrifice a normal zombie and you get a 2/2 and draw a card. It's good. It's fine. That's fine, commander. Let's move up. Oh, I know what 2 of these are. But I don't know what this one is. Thrasios, Triton Hero. This is number 6. A green and a blue for a 1/3 legendary merfolk wizard. Pay 4 mana. Scry 1. Oh, it's got partner. That's why. You can pay 4 and scry 1, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it on the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, draw it. And it has partner. So partner is obviously like affecting this thing's rank like all day. It's in 15,800 decks. And it just partners with pretty much anything that it can. Is it the best thing with partner? Is this the last card we'll see with partner? Or are we going to see like 2 or 3 more? It's kind of a tough one, honestly. This is cool, though, but 4 mana, dude. 4 mana is ridiculous. But I guess if it's your second commander, like, you're playing it on turn 2, like every game. Pretty much guaranteed. 4 mana, dude. But I guess it ramps, it draws cards, it's a mana sink. It's like, you might as well, right? Like, if Simic's the best thing you have access to, you might as well play this guy as your partner. So that's probably doing it, because honestly, his 4 mana is like ridiculous. So let's move on to EDHRec, the Tiger's Shadow, as I begin to notice a trend a little bit here. This is 3 mana, 1 a blue and a black for a 1/3 legendary human ninja with Commander Ninjutsu. This is a blue and a black. Return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card on the battlefield from your hand or the command zone tapped and attacking. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to the card's converted mana cost. So ninjas are this popular in Commander that this is number 5? You can get this for $7 on TCG Player. Well, that last guy's like $22. That's nuts. Why is he that much? That's so much. How much is Wilheld? I don't think I said. $250. That's normal. Okay, it's normal. Kenrith's like $250. It's normal. But this, dude, good God, $20. But EDHRec for 7 seems like a pretty good deal. Maybe that's the low price on TCG Player, but pretty good deal, man. I like this card a lot. I've liked it since it came out. I think that, again, I like cheap commanders. This is cheap whether you ninjutsu it in or just play it out of the command zone, you know? I like that if you do play it out of the command zone, you can get its like combat trigger that turn without having to attack with it. That's always been really cool. It does so much, you know? Like, draw a card, each opponent loses life. It's really, really cheap to play. Commander ninjutsu it in very, very easily. Sometimes you'll do it on like turn 3 or 4 and be able to play another spell on top of that. So yeah, EDHRec is amazing, and I knew that, but I didn't know it was number 5 on EDHRec. Amazing. Almost 16,000 blue-black ninjutsu decks lurking in Commander right now. That's like, if I sit down at a Commander table, I'm this likely to come up against a ninjutsu player. Am I? I'm not sure. This next one I knew for sure was going to be on this list somewhere. The Dragon. So is this the most popular 5-color commander? And is it also the most popular dragon commander? It's 4 and then Wooburg for a 10/10 legendary dragon avatar with imminence. As long as it's in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Dope. Flying, whenever 1 or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards. Then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yeah, Dragon is ridiculous. If you've never read this card, like, look at it. You know what I mean? It's absolutely nuts, dude. Like, just its ability, like, from the command zone makes it an unbelievable dragon commander, right? Because again, just it's free. It's a free ramp spell for like every creature in your deck, and that's pretty stupid just in and of itself. That's a thing. But you know, if you do ever actually get it onto the table, I mean, it costs 9 mana to do that, but if you get it on the table, then like, holy butts, like, your dragons attack, they draw cards, they put more dragons on the table. It's just like, whew, this card's $50, and it's for a reason. Like, if you're gonna play Dragons and Commander, this is the one that you want your commander to be. Maybe that's why the other dragon, the Teamer dragon we looked at down there, is like number 12 or whatever. Because like, that was like $150 to play that card. It's like 35 times more. I got that math wrong to play this card, and that's kind of a lot. $50 for a Magic card's a lot of money. It really is. But last 3 here, what are these guys? Oh, it's Lathril. Okay, I know 2 of these cards too. I don't know the Orzhov one, which is not like me. Lathril, Blade of the Elves. Everyone knows this one, right? You know this one, right? This is 4 mana, 2 a black and a green for a 2/3 legendary elf noble with menace. And when it deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 elf warrior creature tokens that are green. You can tap it and tap 10 untapped elves you control to have each opponent lose 10 life. You gain 10 life. Just the best elves commander. Not even close. What was I was playing Nath of the Guilt Leaf for a very long time as my green black elves commander. And this just embarrasses Nath like so much, dude. Like, oh, you get a 1/1 every turn? Cool. I just 10 my opponents, all of them, like every single turn. So gross. And it's relatively cheap. I mean, 4 mana for a 2/3 is not great. And honestly, it's not going to deal that much combat damage most of the time, unless you can somehow make it unblockable or something. But the tap 10 untapped elves you control is just like stupid because it's so easy to get 10 elves on the table. It's if you played elves or played against elves, and apparently you have, because elves are the green-black elves, apparently the number 3 deck on EDHRec. It's not necessarily going to be reflective of like every local commander meta, but I know that elves are popular in commander. I just didn't know they were number 3, commander, kind of popular, but I can't really say I'm surprised. $420 meme price for a Lathril. That's a pretty good deal right now, so not bad. I mean, I just don't have much to add with Lathril because, like, play the elves, play elves, Lathril commander. You're gonna win, one out of every few games. I'm pretty much guarantee. So long as you're playing the other good elves. I mean, Lathril's only $4, but honestly, by the time you get done building like an actual good, like optimized elf deck, you're many hundreds of dollars in the hole. So pretty happy this is a cheap commander. But let's move on to Timna the Weaver here. I'm really interested in this because it's Orzhov, and it's number 2. It's the number 2 commander. 3 mana, 1 black-white for a 2/2 legendary human cleric with lifelink. Okay. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you may pay X life, where X is the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage this turn. If you do, draw X cards. Oh, that's partner. Okay, so took me a while to get to a partner, but beginning of your post-combat, so beginning of your second main, pay X life. That's the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage if you draw. Okay, so if you just hit one person, you pay a life, draw a card. Every single turn. On a 3 mana 2/2 lifelink, human cleric. I don't love it. I guess, again, this has partner, right? It's $33 on both websites of note here. Or 6 ticks. 5.92 ticks on Mtg. It's card advantage, right? I mean, if you can deal damage to all of your opponents somehow, you lose 3, draw 3, you bolt yourself, draw 3. It's going to be worth it to draw 3, though. You're just like... what a dumb comparison. I think I just like Graveborn Muse better. It's a 4 mana, like 3/3 zombie. Like every turn you lose life equal to the number of zombies you control, and you draw cards equal to the number of zombies you control. This has partner though, so it's one of those two. It just seems like you might as well, If you're playing a deck that has black and white in it, you might as well partner up, get some cards. I mean, it's cards, dude. It's cards, and it doesn't ever have to swing to have any real, effect on the game. This is apparently the best partner ever printed, though. We only saw a couple, too. That was surprising. We only saw like 2 partners this whole time. This is good. I don't know why I'm underwhelmed by it. She's cool, too. She's really cool. Little spider web in the background. She's awesome. She's Orzhov. I guess because you have to pay life and deal combat damage, and like... those things are harder than they seem, right? But cards, cards are good. Everybody likes cards. And it's Orzhov card draw, and like you don't really see that every day. So yeah, this is a good card. It's obviously a good card. I'm just like number two. But let's move on to number 1. It's Atraxa. I actually already knew this was number 1 because I looked at it for a video like 3 months ago, something like that. When the new Atraxa came out. I noted that this was the number 1 commander, and it still is. It's in 23,858 decks as a commander. That is so many decks, dude. That is far away more than any other thing. I mean, the number 2 has 19,000 decks, so 4,000 more, dude. Wow. Like a whole 20% more decks, Like, that's... yeesh. So no one's beating Atraxa anytime soon. It's just at the beginning of your end step proliferate. I mean, it's a 4 mana 4/4 with a bunch of great keyword abilities, so it's like reasonably cheap to get out. It allows you to play a bunch of different colors, and proliferate every turn is like absolutely gross, dude. It's very gross. There's not a lot of planeswalkers to see play in Commander, so probably doesn't do a whole lot with those, right? It's just mostly proliferating +1/+1 counters, I would assume, right? Probably. I don't know. I guess there's so many different kinds of counters. Maybe that's one of the things sort of lending itself to this card being the number one commander, is that you can do planeswalkers, you can do +1/+1 counters. You can do -1/-1 counters for that matter, like ability counters, right? Charge counters. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with this. And there's, there's artifacts and stuff. Some creatures too that have like one-off kinds of counters. And Proliferate will help with all of that. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. I am a little surprised that the price cut on this, the last time I looked at it, was more expensive. Right now it's only $15. Little man, put that ish in my hand. That's not a bad price for this thing. So I feel like last time I looked at it, it was twice this expensive. It was like $35 last time I looked at it, but maybe I'm misremembering that. But still, good, especially for the number one commander. It's $15. Like, could do way worse than that. So, and again, it lets you play like, I don't want to say all the good colors and shade red that much, because red has a lot of really cool stuff going for it, especially in Commander, where like red has like fun, funky, like huge spells that are dumb and silly and do like splashy stuff. So, I don't want to cut out red every time, but you've got 4 colors that do some really powerful stuff. Basically the 4 best colors. Let's be honest. Like in standard, red is really good, but in Magic as a whole, which is Commander basically, green is just a disgusting, just a repulsive color that has some really good cards. So especially when you get to do like green-black cards, like that, it's very good. So Abzan cards, it's very good. So yeah, I'm not like super surprised this is still number one, and apparently it's going to hold the crown for a minute because it's got so many more decks than any other card. But that's it, man. That is basically the top 12 EDHRec commanders, and I am a little bit surprised overall at some of these, man. Like, one thing I want to point out that I noticed is the supreme love for tribal in Commander. You got your Elves commander, Dragon commander, Ninjutsu commander, Zombie commander, Vampire commander, another Dragons commander. Down here is Krenko. That's a Goblins commander. So there's so much tribal, dude. But you've also got like a focus on value with Prosper, value and ramp. Just to focus on like 5 color commanders that actually do good stuff, like Kenrith, or Dragon for that matter, but it's really Dragon's commander. Kenrith really, I think, did turn out to be the best 5 color commander in terms of just like strict utility and not a tribe, right? You got your love for like weird wonky decks like Ishin, and I like that. And then you got your value like partners like Thrasios and Tymna, who really do they both just get you values in the form of cards. Nothing wrong with that. And then the, Atraxa. Again, I'm honestly, when compared to the other stuff, like, oh, here's some partners that make value. Here's some tribal commanders, here's all the creature types people love, and dragons, elves, zombies, and stuff. I am a little surprised that Atraxa is number one, like, in that context, But that's it for now, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Whether you're new to the channel or you're returning, all 8 years we've been on YouTube, you've been watching us and stuff. Because I'm interested in doing more of this. If you want to see me do like the top 25, or maybe, from like 25 through 12, or if you just want to see me do the whole like 100 in installments or something, then I'd be down for that, because this was really fun. I was hoping it would be fun. And like I said, I had to hold this video off for like a couple of months after I had the idea for it, because there's so much going on. And this was every bit as much fun as I expected and hoped it would be. So kind of want to do more of it. I asked the patrons and Twitter separately this past year, what do you want to see more of non-standard content? It seems like you guys all want to see more Commander stuff, as I sort of dip my toes in this format and see what's good, And I would love to do more Commander stuff. So just let me know if you enjoyed it, and I'll do more stuff like this from time to time, Aside from that, just like do all the YouTube stuff, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new for more stuff like this and all kinds of stuff. Don't worry, we'll do more couch videos. Not every video is going to be like this, but like I said, I just, wanted to cut some content on a Friday night, do something fun, have a chill little video and stuff. So, this is how I ended up recording it. But anyway, aside from that, just check me out on Twitch. We're going to be playing Magic this weekend on there, playing a new deck in the new standard. Link in the description for my Twitch link. And also you can check me out on Patreon. That's what really helps support the channel like the most. Just patreon.com/SBMTG. Easy enough, but if you forget, there's a link in the description. Just $1 a month, then you can vote on content. There's a poll going on right now until Sunday night. You can vote on their next deck tech. So get in there. Just $1 a month. It helps me out a lot. But one last thing, couch card of the day, I have to do it. I didn't want this video to go past 30 minutes, but 30 minutes and 15 seconds by my count. So let's do this quick. It's not look, but let's get from the top layer because I never get from the top layer. Oh, yeah, you guys remember this? Dimagoth Woe Eater is our card of the day. It is flipped, and I always apologize for the card being flipped because it's a webcam. But Dimagoth Woe Eater, 4 mana, 1 a black, a green, and a green-black hybrid for a 7/6 demon. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice a creature. When you sacrifice Dimagoth Woe Eater, each opponent discards a card, you draw a card, and you gain 2 life. A lot of us had a ton of fun with this, both in the arena and at F&M. One of the last actual budget decks that I built and played at an LGS had Dimagoth Woe Eater in it. I like Strixhaven, man. I really do. There's some fun stuff in Strixhaven, and Dimagoth's one of them, dude. It's a cool card that never really got the credit it deserved. It's a 4 mana 7/6. And it's so easy to turn sacking a dude into an upside. That's it, man. Dimagoth's a good card. I don't care what anybody says. But that's all I got for today, guys. Just join us for more. Obviously, there's going to be a deck tech soon after that Patreon poll finishes up. Dank jank as soon as we get done with the stream, all that. So stay tuned with the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and turn on the bell for notifications and blah, blah, blah. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. Just leave it up to you. How'd you feel about this? Were you surprised at some of these commanders? I really was, but I think a lot of you guys know Commander a little bit more than me, to be honest. But if you were surprised, let me know. But that's all I got for this one. I'll catch you cats later. I'm Deb from The Place. Thanks for watching, Wizards. Spread love and be kind.